Welcome back to the Morning Wrap. The Nocturne Theatre is a staple amongst Southern California natives, and they are currently hosting auditions for their next big show. So joining me right now is Melissa Meyer, co-owner of the theater. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us.
I'm excited to have you here. I was chatting with you before we came on air because this place has been around the 60s. You're new owners.
Correct.
But tell me a little bit about the legacy and what you guys are doing to keep it alive but also expand.
Yeah, so it was formerly the Glendale Theatre since 1964. It was family run for 3 generations. COVID, as it took out many of the arts, also took out this theater. Doors were shut down for 3 years. An investment group purchased it, so there was a huge community rally around wanting to make sure it stayed a theater. Some performing arts versus becoming another bank or condos.
Theater sounds better than a bank.
I think
condos.
so, and it's really it's a really charming structure. So we're super thrilled to make it our new home. We purchased it just this last summer. And opened the doors in October for the first time in 3 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So
Thank you.
what are you hoping to see take place in the theater? I know you wanted to expand a little bit on what you guys offer.
Yeah, we do. We want to bring in some of our own shows, so that's what we're producing this upcoming spring are the musicals. We have a lot of immersive theater programs that'll be in the fall and winter, but in the interims we are bringing in outside groups as well to rent the space. This last weekend we just had John C. Reilly host at the theater and grace the stage, which he is hilarious. We have Hank Green coming up this weekend he's a comedian and writer, so we want to bring in other music groups, comedians, just everybody from the performing arts can be invited to perform on that stage.
That sounds great. Okay, so we want to talk about auditions, because I was also curious the age range for who you're looking for and what some of the parts are.
Well, all parts are open because we're new.
Yeah, okay, that's a perk. I love
that's a perk. So there's a lot to audition for, and there's children roles in Into the Woods, and then there's older roles as well, dance roles, singing roles, acting roles. So it's really everybody should come and audition that is somewhat interested in theater. There's a lot. It's a huge musical season too. We're taking a big bite.
So I've never auditioned for anything like this before. What's that audition process like, especially for someone who's interested, but maybe this is their first time going in front of, I assume, a panel of people? I don't know. Yeah,
there is a panel of people. That being said, we were former performers ourselves, my husband and I, who purchased the theater. So we want this experience to be everything that we disliked, not at that particular process.
Okay.
We spent many years, auditioning, and it can be really terrifying. It's kind of awful.
Keep it real.
But we want to take all of that out of it.
Okay.
So this particular process, people will come prepared with music. They can use their own recordings. They can bring an accompaniment. They don't have to rely on a accompanist being there, messing up their tempo or messing up the rhythm or adding the flourishes that they're not used to hearing and thus throwing off their vocal audition. But people will come prepared with vocal auditions, and then the dance call will teach something to you and something to them. And I'm actually going to give people a chance to go into a rehearsal studio and practice for a moment.
Oh, that's great.
On their own, in their own head, before having to perform it in front of the panel. And that was one of the things that I always wished that I had as a performer, because it's a little nerve-wracking, but to be able to have a moment of your own before you actually have to perform in front of people is going to be great.
Well, I think it's lovely that you're taking your own experience and you're trying to perfect it for people moving forward. We only have a minute left.
What?
Oh, I know. I talked to you way too long. So let's see, because we're going to try to teach me a little something, but I don't know if I can catch on to it.
Let's go right into
Okay, let's teach, and then we're going to try to dance out.
Dance it out. Okay. So start with here.
Okay.
Here.
Go in front of me so I can see.
You gotcha.
Okay. Here.
Here.
Okay.
This is going to be the very opening. You're going to turn around on 1, hit 2, put your little fingers on your knees.
Far.
You're good, just halfway. That's 2. Come around with your hand 3, and a nice little sexy hip on 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I get the sexy hip?
Yeah, you definitely have the sexy hip.
Okay, let's just do that 8 count before we run out of time. Okay. Was that even 8 count?
That was 4, but it works.
Okay, great. I'm glad I know my math. Okay.
So you hit your pose.
I already forgot what we were doing.
Just hit your pose. Just hit your pose. So this is right here. Then you're going to swing around on 1, hit 2.
Oh, God, I forgot already.
That's okay. This is part of it. And then you're going to swing around 3, sexy hip on 4.
I got the sexy hip down.
You've got the sexy hip.
Okay.
I think you're hired just for your sexy hips.
We ran out of time already. Thank you so much for being here. You were great. We're going to put all this information up at our website, kcalnews.com/themorningwrap. Sexy hip pose at the end.
Sexy hip pose.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow.